yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't know, it's a vibe. Don't know, it's a vibe. Don't know, yeah. Don't know, it's a vibe. Don't know, it's juice poured up, and I know it's a vibe. Like rolling with a man, I'm a vibe. Said I need more drink inside of me, like bring more cup. Cause right now it's a vibe. Don't know, yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't know, yeah. Don't know, yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't know, it's a vibe. Don't know, it's a vibe. Don't know, yeah. Don't know, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. Yes, we've done it. Big up to Yeti for coming back on the show straight away after the game. We will not keep you long, Spurs fans, near and far. Raj, I see you in the comments. Don't worry, we'll be bringing you on. Yeti, I just want to give my 2 cents first and foremost, and we'll get into it. We won't spend too long. Yeah. But I'm not going to lie to you, mate. I was a little bit disappointed with Nottingham Forest today. I thought today they were a bunch of barbarians with the tackles. I mean, you warned me about Yates, but I wasn't expecting the level of...
The
game was a bit too physical. I felt like at times I was watching the last of the Mohicans going on there. Do you know what I mean? Tackles going on. It was absolutely outrageous stuff. But also, for me, I felt that you had the better of us. I didn't appreciate how physical you guys are. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how you get on against Newcastle. One thing I can say, we didn't like it. We wanted to get out of that city.
Yeah, 100%.
You were unlucky, I guess. I think well taken goals by Kulusevski. Tina Turner, mate. I mean, we know he's got. He let that in. For me, Kieran Gibbs does too much, and that was not a red card for Bissouma. But for me, I would just...
that's red card all day, mate.
You guys tried to take this into the bloody arena, mate. Some sort of Russell Crowe type of football. Give your assessment on how you saw the game tonight, mate.
Well, basically, like I said, we was going to give you a game that you didn't want. And, we did that. We came out, we was like putting the tackles in and all this, that and the other. And basically, you actually came over a hurdle tonight because you got a team that was just at you and kicking you and left, right and centre. And, we didn't get cards for it or anything like that until after
That's a bit shocking, though. Are you a bit surprised that you didn't have as many? I mean, Spurs had 4 yellows and a red.
Well, I'm not bothered that we didn't because it's my team. But the fact of the matter is like that Bissouma was definitely a red. I don't care, that mate, he's straight into his knee.
I mean, there was a challenge by Murillo on Pedro Porro that was, I think, borderline disgusting. And actually, to be honest, he could have easily seen 2 yellows and a red. I just felt there was a level of inconsistencies tonight. Yeah, at least a couple of Forest players could have gone.
Don't you think that there always is nowadays? I mean, back in the day, I used to watch football and I could call a foul. 100%, I could call a foul. I could call an offside, easy as you like. But they're trying to make the game so complicated now that you don't know what is and what isn't. And it's just down to what they choose to do. But for me, if you're going into somebody and you're putting your studs into someone's knee, which to be honest, Havertz did for Arsenal against Newcastle, and that was a red as well, in my opinion. The Romero was a red on Sunday against Newcastle, in my opinion, because the way the rules work now, back in the day, that's not a red. You kick the shit out of anybody. It doesn't matter, but it's not. We're not back in the day. It's now the way it is.
I just think that we're playing. The Premier League is elite football with elite players, and they move the ball so quick. I'm not condoning Bissouma's actions by any chance, but when you're on the field and you're trying to get a tackle in, and the players who are as gifted as Premier League players are, they can shift or move their legs so quickly that you find yourself. You think you've got the ball, and then you don't, and all of a sudden you've hit someone's leg. And for me, there's such a thing as an accident. Do you get what I'm saying? When 2 cars collide, they don't deliberately hit each other. I think
it's totally an accident.
It's a mistake. Surely.
I think it's totally an accident, but the way the game goes now is if you completely miss the ball and hit somebody's leg, that's it. That's the way the game is now.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, but for me, I'm just thinking there's got to be a little bit element of common sense. Even when we watch the replay, you can see that he hardly touched him. I mean, it was like a skin, mate. And
the Murillo challenge.
Huh?
What about the Murillo challenge where he wins the ball and then gets a yellow card?
Mate, that's because, but I reckon Murillo gets the yellow card because there was a build-up of challenges similar to that from him.
Yeah,
and
probably.
From Toffolo as well. And bloody, the fact that Yates walked off the pitch without a bloody yellow card is beyond, is beyond me.
He did get one.
Casper the Friendly Ghost. Could the referee not see what this guy was doing on the pitch?
Card.
Huh? Did Yates get a
yellow card?
Mate, he deserved the bloody red, in my opinion.
What did I tell you about Yates before this game?
Mate,
I told you he's a warrior.
I'm not sure if he is a warrior, but he's definitely. For me, I've got Yates down as Russell Crowe. I've got him down as Russell Crowe in Gladiator, mate. He's some sort of madman. But let's get into it. I thought you guys started off really well.
Yeah.
But it was clear that Cooper. Were you shocked by your starting lineup?
No, I weren't shocked by a starting lineup because Cooper always goes with the same thing that he goes from before. And the performance they gave against Wolves, I wasn't shocked that he still kept the same players on because he always does that. That's what Cooper does. If you play well or you do well, then he will keep you on. And I think that's what a manager does. If you're playing well, then you keep them on. And I thought, like I said before, we're going to give you a game that you don't want, and you came through that. I mean, Son, we was on Son straight away.
I mean, what you guys were, the Saski Guna, he agrees. It was a dirty match, it seemed. It was filthy, to be honest, because Nottingham Forest, were hellbound.
That's how it is at the City ground.
Roughing up all the Spurs players, injuring our players like we ain't had enough injuries so far this season. And the assembled, I am going to shake my bum violently, AFC always. And I am expecting a
man up.
I just felt that we rose to the challenge. We stepped up. It was Romero's type of game.
You did. You did.
And I thought we tried. I mean, we didn't really have that many clear-cut chances because that geezer you got at the back, who is he? The bloody wrestler, the Hulk Hogan. You know the one I'm talking about? He's Hulk Hogan. That geezer.
I'm sorry for Brennan Johnson. I mean, I didn't, even though I said that he's not part of my team anymore, I don't want him going off with concussions and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't want any of that. But the fact of the matter is we will fight. And the thing is, tonight, we had all the passion, but not the quality. Because you guys in defence was a mess.
Yeah, we were.
We just didn't have the quality to finish it off. And back to the Turner thing. What the hell was he doing with that kick?
I don't know. Well, it was absolutely madness. But even
I mean, come on, just kick it out, man. Kick it out.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I feel like you can see that he doesn't bring any confidence to your back line because Kulusevski hardly shoots with his right, by the way. That's like the first time I've seen him shoot with his right. And
exactly.
And he goes in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was saying all game, stop letting Kulusevski on his left. And he gets on his left for the first Richarlison goal. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was praying like nothing else that it's got to be offside. It's got to be offside. But it wasn't. So, fair enough. I mean, I thought you came to us. We gave you the game that you didn't want. And you got through it. And I think that's massive respect to you.
No, but also, can I just say, that massive respect to your club because apart from the Wolves game, Spurs have been we've comfortably outplayed teams, including Liverpool. Don't let any Liverpool fan lie to you. I know they went down to 9 men, but we caused that kind of ruckus that day.
Yeah.
Today, I watched Nottingham Forest probably have more of the ball. The only thing is, I did think, what is the point in bringing on Callum Hudson-Odoi in like 9 minutes to go?
Yeah, I was
the game was crying out for a creative player on the wing to take on Porro because Elanga, I feel like you needed it on both sides. Whoever was on your right wasn't doing it against your doggy. Kieran Gibbs was trying to find the pockets, but it wasn't quite pulling off. Elanga, he wanted to do the foot race thing, but Spurs were kind of wise to it. And then your midfield was just aggressive, but no real guile. There was no real agility.
Elanga kept taking it too far. Every time he got the ball, he took it too far instead of actually putting it in the box. But to be fair, everything he put in the box, you guys won anyway.
Yeah.
So it was a really difficult game in that respect.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, we shut down Son 100%. Apart from he kept sort of drifting away, and he got that chance at the start, which Turner saved. Yeah. And then for me, the second goal's the one that pisses me off. Turner just booting it out straight to Kulusevski. I mean,
straight to Kulu, and he gets the goal. Yeah, I mean, it was dumb. And for me, I only remember 3 chances. I think the goal you scored, which was rightly offside, that was definitely offside.
100%. 100%. Didn't even need the line. Didn't even need the line.
But the one time, but Cooley is always guilty. I think for me, the only thing I can say is that today felt like a coming of age for Kulusevski. And what do I mean by coming of age? Usually, he looks like he's kind of woken up in the last couple of games ever since he went into the number 10 role. It's kind of giving him a new leaf of life. But today, Kulusevski used to drive me nuts because he would just hold on to that ball a little bit like Elanga. It goes off the pitch, or someone dispossesses him, or some crap. But the first goal is him just releasing the ball straight away. He just whacked it, just kept it, and then Richarlison gets his head on it. And for me, I'm so happy for Richarlison. Anyone who's been following me knows the Assemble, Kudos, AFC always. I've been saying, give this guy a chance and he can do something. He didn't do much in the game, but he got a goal. And sometimes that's all you need.
But come on, I mean, what kind of training did we have? Because you don't let Kulusevski onto his left foot.
It's true. It's so obvious. He's not going to sweep him with his right, is he?
What are you doing?
He's not going to cross with his right leg, is he?
Yeah. And I was like, as soon as he put that in and then Richarlison gets his head on it, I was like, oh my days. Yeah. I mean, I thought we had, like I say, I think we had all the passion, which I expected, but there was no quality there. We kept booting it down the right-hand side, and it wasn't working. So surely a coach goes, that's not working, so we have to do something different, and we just didn't do it.
Yeah, and also I would say that Cooper, he looked like he was devoid of ideas, and I'm picking up on this because AFC always is saying stop sucking on Postecoglou's balls. The thing is, mate, you got to give credit to where credit is due, and AFC, you and the Assembled and all the other cronies in the chat, like here to there, you guys would be the first to say that Postecoglou is naive, blah blah blah. And yes, I was guilty this week because here to there says, weren't you one of the ones who wasn't happy and saying you want Postecoglou out after the West Ham game? I did, because I just felt like West Ham won because what's his name? Moyes just knows that there are some games you just got to clear the ball. And what I saw today was your doggy just knocking the ball up the line.
Yeah.
Just clear the ball. Yeah. None of this passing the ball at the back rubbish. Even the goalkeeper went long, which showed me that he's learning from his mistakes, but also the game management was a lot better. Sometimes none of this. I don't remember us really playing with the ball at the back. Not like the West Ham game.
I think one of the main things that annoyed me the most was how much Romero had of the ball and was just keeping the ball and nobody was pressing him.
Yeah.
That, you've got to, if you're going to keep it at the back like that, you've got to press these players to make them make a mistake. And then you've got the Woods chance where Vicario is really lucky, to be honest. I mean, game's pretty much done then anyway. But, it's just frustrating, to be honest, for me.
Yeah, no, I totally hear. Arsenal Manic, I don't know what you're talking about. Am I proud of my side cheating? My guy here, Yeti, will say that Spurs, we will probably, I don't want to say that we deserved the win, but sometimes you got to win dirty. And I felt that we had won the game, I'm not going to lie to you, when he brought on Chris Wood, because that's when you knew there's nothing. What's Chris Wood going to do?
But yeah, exactly.
I mean, he came on and he did absolutely nothing. To be fair,
exactly.
I don't know if I don't think he touched the ball.
I think. Well, he got the header for the Turner save.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was lucky for Turner because he just hits his legs. But at the end of the day, you put it in the top, don't you? You know what I mean? You don't put it down to the ground, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, what was it? The chance that we had where Elanga smacks it straight at the keeper. No, sorry, Bowley.
Yeah,
what was that with Bowley?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I mean, that was wild.
Photo with that.
It was wild. No, I mean, these are Premier League players just playing like it's the NFL. It is quite funny. It's quite funny. So I'm just putting some of the stuff up in the chat. We've got the Bear Talk. Look at all the goobers in the chat being obsessed with Spurs. Is funny and sad at the same time. Yeah, they are so obsessed with Spurs because now they realise that Spurs are breathing on their neck and we're literally only 3 points behind. The Assemble says, Deji doesn't care how Spurs win as long as they do. Yeah, I don't know any fan who gives a damn about how they win. I had Arsenal fans shaking their bum violently when you guys beat Luton and you scored in the last minute. You can't tell me anything. And that's bloody Luton, whose stadium is as big. Oh, well, forget it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even going to go there. So let's just be sensible. And Richarlison now, you know what makes me laugh, Yeti, is that I've been saying all season before the season started that Richarlison will score more goals than Jesus. And these guys were laughing at me. Well, it looks like some of us have eyes. And we watch football because he's already overtaken Jesus and he's 1 goal off Nketiah and he's played half the games. Let that sink in.
Yeah, exactly. And all Jesus does is falls on his arse all the time anyway.
It's shocking. So Yeti, look, thank you for joining in. And, you know, we wanted to do a quick reaction. I think from a Spurs fan looking at Forest, you can't be too disheartened. I think you did yourself proud.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You gave us a really good game. And to be honest, I was uncomfortable and I could see that my team was uncomfortable. What next now? What needs to happen? What are your remaining three games of the year? And what are you hoping to achieve in those 3 games? Because let me just quickly check the 3 games for you. Yeah, just so that I'm clear.
Yeah, let me just check. I know we've got Bournemouth next at home.
I mean, is that a must win? So it's
got to be.
You've got Bournemouth at home, then you're away to Newcastle on Boxing Day.
Yeah,
and then bloody hell, you're at home to Man United, where you can get your revenge on the 31st of December.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you expecting to get in those 3 games?
Well, I mean, I never underestimate any team. That, you know, I don't think, because it's always 11 against 11, so you can never underestimate any team. We've got to get something against Bournemouth, to be honest. Newcastle away is another tough one, to be fair. And Manchester United at home is another tough one because we haven't got that home, like, fortress thing that we had last season that kept us up. So, you know, we've got to work on that. I mean, and the thing is, if we keep doing the same things, it's all right about having all the passion, but there's no quality there. That's what let us down tonight. There's no quality at all.
When is when is he back?
Who's that? Awani?
Yeah.
Oh, that's about a month or 2 ahead going now. I mean, and that is massive, to be honest. I mean, Divock Origi's not doing a great deal either. You know, I mean, there's 1 or 2 players tonight that I would really call out. Yates, I thought, was absolutely amazing. He just went out there, did exactly what I expect from him. I like players who
he's a barbarian.
I know you don't agree, but I like players who wear the shirt and say this is my shirt.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking it off me, and that's why I love the Stuart Pearces and the Roy Keanes and the Patrick Vieiras. And
he is that kind of ilk, to be fair.
I love those kind of players. And Yates is one of them that's always on the edge. He's always on the edge of a red card.
Yeah,
always.
He's a Romero in midfield, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And the thing is, I mean, where Romero's concerned, I thought he had a hell of a lot of the ball today, and I thought we should have been pressing him a lot more. Don't think he should have been on, to be honest. I think he should have been redded against Newcastle on Sunday.
That's the if. I mean, those are ifs, buts, and maybe. Yeah, no, I hear that, but mate, we could say the same about your club as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That barbarian performance. Look, as for me, I think for me, we needed the win. You know, I've talked about the fact that Spurs. I expect Spurs to challenge.
Do something with it now.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. Yeah. I think we do need to do something with it. I mean, on one hand, you would say it's too early to be challenging for a title. This guy's only been in charge literally like 3 months. But when you think that if not for the Chelsea fallout, we would have beaten Aston Villa and West Ham. We would be top of the league right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we would be top because the big teams have dropped. You know, Man City's already lost bloody 3 games. You know, Arsenal ain't really cooking the way they want. Man United is dusty. Chelsea's dusty. Newcastle's had so many injuries. So for me, the Premier League, I mean, I was on Tony Claude's show earlier today, and he was shaking his bum violently, telling me how Arsenal are having a great season and Spurs are not having a great season. And I said, well, if we beat Forest today, we're only 3 points behind you, mate.
Yeah.
With all the bluster around Spurs, we are 4 points off top. Expect this. So, Yeti, would you agree? Is Spurs, from what you saw today, I mean, you were up close and personal and you did your watch along. Were you watching potential title contenders? I'm not saying they're going to win the league, but would you put them in the bracket of title contenders?
With the other players coming back and maybe strengthening in January, which I think is one of these things you need to look at, because it's like, everybody's saying that Spurs are going to sign 4 or 5 players, but this is Levy talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're in a position where you could actually go on and do it, but you need a hell of a lot more strength in depth. I mean, the players that played tonight played really well. Thought Papasar played really well. You know, I thought a lot of your players played really well. Porro as well played really well. I don't think you did anything wrong in that respect, but I don't think you're quite there, to be honest. I mean, I said it before and I'll say it again. I think you're very much like Arsenal at the moment. If you actually go out there and pay the money and get the players, get an Ivan Toney. Yes, Richarlison's scoring at the moment, but he could also fall down. So go out there, get an Ivan Toney, and actually, you know, show that you've got some fucking balls about you, which Arsenal didn't do last season. I mean, 93% ahead in the table, 11 points ahead.
Shocking,
and you lose the title.
Bottlers.
You've got to do what they didn't.
Yeah, look, and I actually think we can. I mean, Arsenal fans shake their bum violently, but I do think that Ange Postecoglou is a good manager, because despite the results we've actually played some decent football.
Yeah.
And today we saw him learn. He didn't make the same mistakes we made. Had we not lost to West Ham, I think we lose tonight. Honestly, I think he learned from that game and he kind of put things in place. Just pick it up on the chat. Big up to you, Kudos. You know what it is. Yeah, let these Arsenal cronies in the chat. The Woolwich lot coming in there, trying to... The thing is, they assembled in here today. They all know what is coming. Arsenal will drop points this weekend. You've heard it here first. They will drop points. And I've said it here live with my brother Yeti, that Spurs will finish above Arsenal. Yes, you've heard it here first. I don't think Arsenal are any good, but I do think Forest can go on a run. I do think there's nothing stopping.
What, down to the Championship?
I don't think you guys will go down. I can see Forest finishing above Chelsea and United, to be honest. You can. You play better football than Chelsea. And, you know, I know I've got some United fans in the chat laughing away in the background. But the truth is, they're so dusty that I actually think... Because, mate, you've got 16 points. Chelsea And United have what? Is it 19?
Well, we've got 14. We have.
You got 14,
Yeah.
and Chelsea got 19.
Hmm.
Mate, I think you beat United on the 31st. I really do.
Well, I mean, we've
I
got
can't see
to
that
pull
United
that.
team
We've got to
handling
pull
the
that
pressure
home
you put
form
on,
back,
man.
man.
What's
We've
that?
got to pull that home form back.
Yeah,
And you know, and my biggest issue at the minute is we just keep having the passion and not the quality, and that's my biggest issue. Now, I'm not saying that we could have gone and like beat you tonight watching that game today because the quality just wasn't there. But I mean, where it comes down to Arsenal, obviously I've got a lot of Arsenal fans, not Arsenal friends. I mean, not fans, Arsenal friends. And I still won't. I'll still call it real. To be honest, I don't think that manager is worth shit. I think he's got the biggest problem that manager's making is if you go 93% at the top of the league, you keep that going, and then you create a plan B. What he's done is he's created an A/B type of plan, and it just makes no sense to me.
No, I totally agree. Sorry, I'm laughing at a comment that the assembled is just written. It's here to there. Deji won't go back on what he's saying now. That would mean he would have no integrity, wouldn't it, Deji? Yes or no would be. I ain't going back on no word. I've said what I've said.
One day you will shake your bum, and there'll be a reason to shake your bum.
Mate, I will shake my bum that I get banned. Literally, I'm going to get banned. They're going to remove me off YouTube. Right now, I'm shaking my bum violently.
Do some Lizzo twerking.
Mate, I'll be twerking that. It'll be bloody X-rated PG. We'll just go out the window, mate. YouTube won't send me any plaques when we get to 10,000 subscribers. I'll tell you that, mate. They'll miss me out. It would be too funny. But yeah, I'm not going back on my word right now. I think Postecoglou is the real deal. I think he's up there with the best managers in the league. And I am delighted to see that my club seems back. The only problem I have now is that for the next game against Everton, there's no Udogie who'll be serving a one-match ban. Bloody hell. Is that four matches that Bissouma misses?
That's 3 matches, isn't it? For a red
because that was that a straight red or was it a yellow then red?
No, it was a yellow and then they changed it to a red. So I don't know if he got a yellow beforehand.
Blood fire. If that's a straight red, that's annoying, man, because that's another 3 or 4 games.
Well, it wasn't red though. Come on.
So, but Yeti, can I ask a question though? You might know this. If Bissouma's going to the African Nations Cup, I don't even think it matters. So it means he misses Spurs next 3 games, and then had let's say for example the African Nations Cup was starting next week, and he happens to go. Would those games count while he's away, or does he have to be in the squad?
No, I would imagine he's got to be in the squad.
He has to be in the squad.
Yeah, I can't see it counting if he's away in a different tournament. So you're done, mate. He's gone. It was a nice attempt at you twerking your bum to like get.
No, I just wanted to shake my bum to say, actually, it don't matter if he's away, we can get it back. But Kudos is saying this is Levis.
Hey, don't work like that, mate. It works on Premier League games.
Yo, snap. But you know what? Kudos is saying this is Levy's biggest Jan, and he's saying I've always been Levy out, but back orange or F off. I think so, mate.
Postecoglou's a great manager. I remember watching him like for Celtic, and he takes a little bit of time to sort of get his team right and stuff like that. And I think you have got your team right. And in the first half, he was going for Son all the time, but we was massacring him.
Yeah,
we was massacring Son. So obviously you change your tactic towards that. We didn't change our tactic to lumping it up the fucking right hand side. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no, mate.
We didn't change our tactic to lumping it down the right hand side, and I didn't understand that.
Yeah, it was strange and it was dirty from you guys. But
well, I mean, we was amazing. We just lost.
Yeah, look, you had a good game. You had a good game. No, to be honest, you had a good game. And if it weren't Spurs, I would have been saying you could have probably deserved the draw. If I'm being honest, you probably deserved the draw from it. If we drew the game, I'd be disappointed.
I think the Elanga one killed us, to be honest.
Yeah.
When we thought we'd made it 1-1.
Yeah.
When we thought we'd made it 1-1, and then you look at that, I mean, why they needed the line for that, I have no idea. There's 3 players offside, and Elanga is clearly offside.
Somebody was trying to say to me, the 2 players in front of Elanga, it didn't matter. They were more focused on Elanga, and I'm thinking, have I forgot the offside rule? Surely, if you go for the ball and you're in
that's what it used to be.
So is it no longer that rule? Because I'm thinking, why are
only
we having
matters on the player that scores the goal.
All 3 of those guys went for the ball.
Only matters on the player that scores the goal.
Really?
This is the way the game's going. It's going
that's ridiculous.
you know,
because you can get this. Vicario's distracted by the first 2 runners.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I've always said. The goalie will be fucking. Oh, sorry, I've done it.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
The goalie will be like distracted by a player going towards him. So if another player goes in and scores, and it still makes to me it still makes a difference. But
of course it makes a difference because those 2 play. I understand if you don't go for the ball. That one there is legitimate. I get that. But the first 2, I was like, why are they drawing a line? Those first 2 guys, had Elanga missed it, they were going for the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're offside. So if Elanga happens to get the ball first, but those 2 have still moved, and he wasn't offside, that would have been a goal. I mean, am I damn
I've seen goals given for that as well.
That
where there's another player that the goalie's like taking note of, and then it's a goal. And I've actually seen goals given for that. They're trying to make the game so complicated, and it's just a simple game.
Yeah.
It's just 11 people against 11 people. If it's offside, it's offside. All these phases and stuff. I don't think Arteta's just taking over Arsenal. I think he's taking over the old football because he's always on about phases and all that crap as well.
Yeah, it's true.
It drives me mad.
I'm just going to probably touch on a couple questions. I said to Yeti 10, 15 minutes. I bloody kept him here double the time. So we are going to wrap up in the next couple of minutes. Question to me, I think, from the assemble. Question to us, would you say that the league isn't as clear-cut as it's been over the last few years? 100%. Every season, I would go as far as to say this is the best season. But I think this is genuinely the best season. And why I'm saying that, I can't deal with leagues where there's only one team in it. I can't stand the German league for that. But Bayern Munich have won it for the last 13 or 14 years in a row. I mean, that's not football. That's a joke.
No.
We've got Celtic, Rangers. We got PSG doing the same sort of thing. Generally, this season, I think there's a shout for 5 teams who could win the league mathematically. I don't care what you want to say about history and blah, blah, blah and squad. At the moment, you'd be remiss to say that Aston Villa can't win the league.
Yeah.
Spurs, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and none of them.
Squad-wise, I would say not, to be honest.
What's that?
Squad-wise, I would say not. Because the only team that's like really got a squad is Man City. And I'm not saying that they're the only like team that's in it. But I'm just saying they've got players that they can bring in when you get injuries and stuff. And I think that's what you lot need to sort of... If Spurs can like go into January and get like 4 or 5 quality players that, they've got for a replacement.
We're not going to buy 4 or 5 in January.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to actually start winning leagues, you have to have the quality in the background as well as the quality on the pitch.
Yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree. Look, Arsenal Manic is throwing jabs at you, Yeti. He's saying that Forest literally 1 point ahead of Everton, and Everton had 10 points deducted. Arsenal Manic, that is really, really, really low. And then he's gone on further to say Forest to get relegated. I don't think so. I think Forest is too good a team. If they play like that against most teams can't. Arsenal can't go to the City Ground and get 3 points if Nottingham Forest turned up the way they turned up against Spurs tonight, because Arsenal, they don't want that sort of smoke. That's
who's Arsenal Manic? Is he
Arsenal
one
Manic
of them that like shaked his bum for the 93% of being at the top of the table last season?
Arsenal Manic was
celebrating now that thinking they're going to win the league. Is he one of them?
Arsenal Manic was shaking his bum so hard that I could have sworn I saw him on All or Nothing, the Arsenal one. He was on there shaking his bum outside the stadium. They interviewed him, and he was like, Arsenal going to win the league. And then he went missing for half a season, and he's just come back.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll just say one thing to Arsenal Manic. You know, when you went to Europe, you looked at the cups. We took them home.
Yowzers! Arsenal Manic, shots fired by Yeti. You haven't done jack in Europe. Look, that is our review of tonight's game. Tottenham get the job done, basically.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say it was a
Arsenal,
professional performance, but we did what we needed to do, which is get the 3 points. As for Nottingham Forest, I think if you can play with that same spirit, you will take out Manchester United. I actually think, you heard it here first, that you will take out Arsenal, provided that you play with the same energy and intensity. And as for all my fellow rivals, all the cronies in the chat, shaking their bums for their clubs violently, Chelsea, Manchester United, but especially the Arsenal fans that are in there tonight, I guess it fills me with great pleasure to say, over to you. And on that note, we say good night and see you over the weekend. Yeti, thanks for coming in. Good
No
night.
worries, man.
Dano, yeah. Dano, yeah. Dano, it's a vibe. Dano, it's a vibe. Dano, yeah. Dano, it's a vibe. Dano, it's juice poured up. And I know it's a vibe. Like rolling with a animal vibe. Said I need more drink inside of me. Like bring more cup. Cause right